Hello there everyone and welcome back to The Lovely Grind. My name is Michael Preby and my website is www.lovelygrind.com. That's where you're going to find blog posts about health, healing, and happiness, and that's where you're going to find blog posts this month about prescription drug withdrawal, which is the theme of the month at the Lovely Grind website. Now, over at that website this month, and I hope you'll visit that, over at my website, there's a blog post entitled Antidepressants, Benzos, and Withdrawal, 7 Lies That Doctors Tell. And obviously, a title like that is meant to be somewhat provocative, but I do that to draw attention to a very serious issue. An issue that when people go to the doctor nowadays complaining of antidepressant withdrawal symptoms or benzo withdrawal symptoms or both, they're often met with blank stares or sometimes even an accusatory demeanor. Regardless, they're dismissed, and regardless, the withdrawal is dismissed. And so then all the attempts to find a solution are pointing in the wrong direction, and people have their situations complicated rather than simplified, and this just isn't helping anyone out. The same doctors that prescribe medications seem to know little or nothing about getting off of them, or they flat out lie about it. Regardless of which it is, it's not helping the patient. So the topic of this video today is lies that doctors tell regarding withdrawal. And I'd like to begin the video by talking about my first experience with a doctor, the person who first prescribed me Paxil, and that was 20 years ago this month, 1999. I was a college student, 21 years old. I was suffering from some panic attacks heading into my last year of journalism school at UW-Madison, and I was obviously very scared. I didn't understand what was going on. I was about to drop out of college, but instead I went to see this doctor. He wasn't even my doctor. He was my parents' family doctor. I was back home in between the summer semester and the fall semester. I went and saw this doctor, and he said, well, guess what? There's this new medication, or not a new medication, but a medication that had recently been approved to have its purview extended to anxiety, and that's called Paxil. So now that can be prescribed for people with generalized anxiety disorder. You can take that along with a small dose of as-needed Xanax for acute panic. And I had some reservations about putting those things into my body each and every day, and thinking that that was the glue that was holding me together and allowing me to function. But I did take those, and I finished out my senior year of college, and I got all A's that year and graduated very high in my class. And then I continued taking those medications for 14 years until I got off of them, experienced withdrawal, and then found healing, started writing about it and making these videos and so forth. But back to that first doctor, he was just an elderly family doctor. You know, he probably knew what a pharmaceutical rep had told him that year. You know, he didn't know much probably about what Paxil was or how it operated or how a person would eventually have to get off it. He just knew that, okay, this guy's a nervous college student. He might have that thing they talk about called chemical imbalance, a serotonin imbalance. It can be fixed by this medication, and why don't we just go in that direction? And so I think that doctor falls more along the end of the spectrum that you could call ignorance. And a lot of doctors out there are ignorant about these medications and certainly about getting off of them. On the other end of the spectrum, I believe there are doctors out there who are flat out dishonest. Those are the sorts of guys that their bread and butter is the prescription pad. And that's the only tool they have. And if you can't find your solution within that toolbox that they have of SSRIs and other antidepressants and benzo medications and whatever other pills that they can prescribe you, well, then you're out of luck because they don't know much more. And then if you come to them complaining about withdrawal symptoms, they're going to flat out tell you that there's no such thing as withdrawal, or that it's a very mild thing that should be over relatively quickly. That was my experience with the last doctor that I went to see about pills. He was a tan doctor, a guy who looked like he was flying from island to island, you know, giving promo speeches for all these pharmaceuticals. He was willing to up the dosage whenever you wanted, give you whatever prescription you needed, and he didn't seem to know a lot more about health other than, for modern man, good health is going to come from modern pills. And when I got off the medications and began experiencing a lot of symptoms, once I was off the Paxil and in the midst of my Xanax taper, he told me that, well, any SSRI withdrawal should have been relatively mild and should have been over quite some time ago. Now, I have a feeling that he flat out was being a little dishonest there, because if he was prescribing so much medications to so many people as he was to me, I doubt that he had never seen a case of withdrawal before. So that's the other end of the spectrum. There's the ignorance and there's the dishonesty. And really, wherever a doctor falls, if they're within that spectrum somewhere, it's not helping the patient. And it's really abhorrent, because how in this day and age, when doctors prescribe so many antidepressants and so many benzos, can they know nothing about how to get off these medications safely and find a real solution to the problems that a person came into their office with in the first place, whether it was a year ago or 30 years ago? So those are the two experiences that I had that I think kind of shine a light on this problem. And I know there's a lot of you out there who have your own experience with doctors, where they've maybe been dismissive, where they've maybe been dishonest and you didn't get a good feeling about them, as if they were lying about things, or where they just flat out were breaking your heart because they said, well, there's no way to understand what you're going through, and I can't help you if you won't take another one of these pills that I have, or something to that effect. Regardless of what it is, we know that the withdrawal process is real. It is real, and it is something to be taken seriously. The taper process is something to be taken seriously, and so is the withdrawal and healing process. Now, it's not something to be feared, but it's something to be taken seriously. We have to take care of ourselves, try to taper in a proper manner, and find all those other areas of life that are going to help us heal, whether it's nutrition or exercise, professional fulfillment, our relationships, our spiritual health, and so on and so forth. So we know that withdrawal is real. We know that the taper needs to be taken seriously. We know that we need to move forward with a real plan. And so that's what I hope that some of the blog posts this month at The Lovely Grind will help all of you with, to help move forward through your withdrawal, through your taper, whatever it is, through your healing process, and to find some hope, and to find some true measures, not only of physical healing, but spiritual, emotional, and mental healing as well, because it's really a whole picture, and one thing can't really be separated from the other. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click thumbs up on this video if you liked it. Also, I hope you'll visit my website. That's lovelygrind.com. And that's where you can also find more information about my coaching on the coaching page. If you're interested in any of those sessions or to find more information about my coaching packages, please just message me through that site and I'll respond to you, and perhaps we'll work together in the future. Again, my name is Michael Prevey. My website is lovelygrind.com. Until next time, please remember to take care of yourself and your dreams.